All right.
Okay.
Let's check that the stream is going.
Yep, it's going.
Good. I'm getting a gigabit service here next week. I only have like 10 gig up or something like that right now. So. Or 10, what is it? 10 megabits up. All right, so... Yeah, I was thinking, you know, for pre-show, if you drive a lap, you could actually be on one of the other servers doing that on that lap. And then just not to complicate things. You see what I'm saying?
I kind of want to complicate things. That's just it. But it would be in pre-qualifying. Obviously, it wouldn't be in qualifying. It's proper.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have a lot of people sitting in the pits, and I wouldn't get in anybody's way. And I'm not going to be like driving like a maniac. It would just be kind of for a talking point, and you know, kind of explain like good overtaking.
The game stream also there. All right, here we are. We are live at Valencia, and for some reason I show Laguna Seca there. That's really weird. I'm gonna take that away, and I'm gonna show Valencia. There we go. So it's Jonathan and me gonna commentate. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hey, yep. Thanks for having me.
We have 32 drivers on track right now. I'm gonna jump over to the game stream. So this is the new format. We have the white drivers are platinum, which is the equivalent of Group 1, and silver is the equivalent of Group 2. And silver have, the silver color there on the timing board. And the silver driver is going to go out first on qualifying, and then we're going to do the platinum. So the slower drivers, or the lower, I don't know how to say it. You don't want to say lower class drivers.
Group 2. Hey, these we've been having, like, this is like the prelude to season, was it season 8 or season 9? Where are we? But every season we've had previously, we've had a Group 1 race and a Group 2 race. The Group 2 races were, you know, these guys who are a little bit slower than the Group 1 aliens. But what we've decided to do is combine both Group 1 and Group 2, but we've called them something different. So Group 2 are going to be called the silver guys, and the Group 1 guys are the platinum, the faster guys. And we're doing a 30-minute qualifying. We're testing that out today. The first 15 minutes, which has just started, are going to be the silver guys, those guys who are a little bit slower. And then the aliens, the Group 1 guys, the platinum guys are going to go in the final 15 minutes of qualifying. And we're going to see where we find ourselves on the timing beam, see where the spread is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. New format. I think it's fun. Everyone kind of driving together in the same race.
Yeah, this is going to be excellent. And we got a lot of people who have graduated from Group 2 to Group 1, or from silver to platinum. And this is going to be super exciting. But let's see, gets a time on the board first and see where it's at. Because I saw Group 1 times or platinum times. I believe Merche, in pre-qualifying, Merche Paunov, he did a 31 dead, which is extremely quick.
Yeah, that's a very, very quick time.
So I would expect these silver guys to be probably in the 33 range, mid to low 33s.
Yeah, we should see some times come up on the board soon. Melvin Schmidt is one of the newer guys, I believe.
I see a lot of people who are just sitting in the pits.
Yeah.
See, who can we ride with?
Maybe Aaron Shannon. Let's see where he is on track.
Yeah, he's in the back, around the back of the circuit right now.
Yeah, he's coming around in a little bit. Yeah, let's follow him when he comes around. He's a solid guy, driver.
Yes, so he's just about to go into the final bend, and this is a very, very important corner because you want to get on the power as early as possible, which is going to propel you down the straight, and you'll go past the start-finish line at as fast as you possibly can, right? So if you don't get that last corner wrong, you're not going to be getting a top speed down the straight. Going to go down a couple of gears, try and hit that apex on the green and get back on the power as soon as you can, then head down into this tight left-hander. Going to either go down into first or second. He's actually gone into first. Once again, on that inside, you know, you've got those green areas where that's where the apex is. That's what you want to be aiming for. So, man, he got that apex there, that right-hander. This is another right-hander. It's a light brake, then back on the gas. Very, very slippery right here, leading to a tight left-hander that's cambered. Lots of grip here, but not on that green stuff on the outside. Now this next turn, it's a tight hairpin, a left-hand hairpin. It's really difficult to see where the braking point is. And you see he just missed the braking point by about maybe a meter or so and didn't quite hit the apex. Got a couple of left and right-handers before you hit another hairpin. This is a right-hand hairpin. And this is, of course, a motorcycle track. That's why you've got so many hairpins, basically. And here we have a really fast right-hander. This is probably the most exciting part of the track, I think, because there's a sausage on the inside. You just got to kiss the sausage, you get back on the power, and then we go back to the final left-hander here again, and he's overshot it a little bit. You can see he's now on the power, but he wanted to be on the power at the apex. So now he's not going to be as quick down the straight. So I think you can clearly see that this is one of those tracks where it's a serious apex track. You know, every corner you want to be hitting the apexes so that you can get back on the power as quickly as possible. Cool thing about this track is that, you know, the difference in speed between first and last is not as much as you would find at like circuits like Monza and Spa for some reason. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, that was a good review of the track.
This is the newest track on the ACC, and I wasn't a fan to begin with. I kind of like it now. I think part of the deal for me is trying to find reference points to some of these braking zones, because that one that we just went past, that really high-speed braking zone into the left-hand hairpin, was really, really tough. And then the braking zone into the final corner, again, it's a little bit deceptive because you'll see braking boards at 50 and 100 meters, but you're going to brake deeper than that. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to judge.
Yeah, I kind of use those braking boards just as a reminder that brake after somewhere, you know, and you just have to feel it out.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you're looking for different markers, like you're looking for trees, right? Or just little spots on the Armco barrier sometimes, not necessarily the actual braking boards.
There is one marker I use in one of the last, or actually the corner, which is like a tight left-hander, kind of middle of the track. There's like a little white line on the curb I'm using. So it looks like
there's quite a lot of those.
Looks like everyone is very nice here. You have a 1 to 13 here. You see that's the silver drivers. So those are the guys out running here. A couple of more minutes. I had a view that actually shows the corner as you go through the lap. Where can I start that one?
So what did I say? Mid 33. So Mr. Sauvage is in P1 right now. He's posted a 133.5. And then Aaron Shannon is a quarter of a second behind him. And we've got a second between the first and 7th placed runner. Peter David is on a flyer. He's almost a second up on his fastest time. He's currently in P4, 6/10 off of pole position, but he's currently he's 9/10 up. He's just coming into the final bend. Got to really sacrifice it. And he's missed the apex and he's lost a lot of time. He's lost half of the time that he had gained, more than half of the time that he had gained. That would have taken him on to pole position, but now he's just gone up by 1 place. So, once again, you miss the apex, you lose a ton of time.
Yeah, I had the timing tower where you see the delta, how they're doing against their best. A slap, Owens, yellow. Yeah, he's standing right there.
Peter's a funny guy. So he was using a Jag in the last season, quite to my own chagrin, right? So he's called himself, and he's in a Ferrari. He's called his team not a Jaguar.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Funny guy.
It's Stuart Charles. He's one of the newer drivers. He's currently P8 in the silver group.
He's got that nice Lotus-like livery, that yellow and British Racing green.
Yeah, it's nice. Melvin Schmidt sits in the pits. Tom Darby's driving up half a second, sits in P11 and goes into P7. Shannon sets the fastest lap now. So Shannon P1 of the platinum or silvers.
We've got to keep a close eye on the timing beam there, Krista, because we've got just over 19 minutes left, or just under 20 minutes. We've got another 5 minutes before the silver guys have to come in, and then we get the faster guys come out. They're waiting in the pits, biting their nails. David just started another lap. He just went through turn 2, and he has the potential to get a pole position time. The top spot now has been taken over by Aaron Shannon. He pipped Philippe Sauvage into that pole time. But Peter David, he's currently about even with his fastest time, but he lost about 3/4 of a second in the last corner. So as long as he can stay within that range right now, he's just a 10th down. He'll still take pole position if he can nail the final bend. Hey, Nikos in the chat. How you doing, brother? Why aren't you racing, Nikos? What the heck, dude?
Stefano Bucilli and James.
Let's see what Peter can do here. He's a 10th down, but if he can nail this final turn, he's going to gain about 3/4 of a second. So here we go. Don't break too deep, David. Hit that apex. Just missed the apex, but it's okay. Look how much time he's gained. All of a sudden, what did I say? I said 3/4 of a second. He didn't quite hit the apex, but he gained more than half a second. That's pole position.
There you go.
Woo! Nice job.
1:33.1. Strong showing there.
Yeah, very, very strong showing. But then I think the platinum guys, we're looking at a 1:31 flat. This is interesting.
Yeah, McClellan was up a little bit, but he's abandoning that. Neil might be his last lap. See if he can improve. It's going to be so interesting to see the behavior on track, because you fight within your class. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun experience, I think, for people in the back kind of have their own kind of race going.
Yeah, so we were talking about that in that pre-race meeting, right? So you don't want to fight somebody who's not in your class, right? And it's probably easier to just let them pass, right? But at the same time, it's kind of this mental game, isn't it? You don't want to get somebody past who, even though you're not fighting against them, you're ahead of them on merit. Yeah. So why let them by? I wouldn't want to let them by, but then, you're making a case for yourself being in the higher group at the same time. So it is interesting. We're going to have to keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, I wonder where the overlap going to be, where we have kind of, where, Peter David, that's now is he going to overlap with his time 1:33.1 with maybe some of the platinum driver that's in the back? So we're going to find that out.
Yeah, well, I think with this test race, we're actually going to see that we might need to promote a few people into the platinum group. It's possible because we can look at that overlap and see what's significant there.
Yeah, absolutely. Mikey McClellan has a couple of seconds left. He's up 0.5. He's in P7 right now of the silvers.
Yep. We've got 30 seconds left before the quali for silver is finished.
And I think the name of the classes are so appropriate for eSeniors, silver and platinum. That's our hair color, right?
Mine's just white, mate. I don't know about yours. What about those people who have no hair?
I call it platinum.
We could have a bald.
Yeah, the bald class.
Right? I think Obando is in the bald class.
Oh, Michael is gonna go up just... Yeah, one
All right,
spot.
so that's
P6. There we are. Let's see now if we do a helicam over the pit lane. We're gonna see people go out now. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they're on their way out.
Rolling. Laszlo is out.
We've still got number 50. So Aaron Shannon is like the last one on track, and number 22, which is Philippe Sauvage. Philippe is going to come back into the pits. He's not improving on his time, so I'm assuming that he's just going to come back into the pits. And number 55, Aaron Shannon will be coming back into the pits as well. So everyone has done what they're supposed to do. Nobody has flouted the rules and is on a flying lap when they shouldn't be. And we have the platinum guys on track.
And 1:33.132. That was Peter David. I made a note of that. That's going to be fun to see. Laszlo, we haven't seen Laszlo on track for a while, I think.
Yeah, no, he's been missing from eSeniors for a while, so you're very, very welcome back, Laszlo.
As well
Laszlo
as
Nemeth.
Uwe Tholen from Germany is here.
Yeah, Philippe Sauvage as well. I don't remember seeing Philippe in the last season.
And Paulo from Portugal.
Yeah, Paulo Nove. And Willie Owens, welcome back.
Yeah. So what times do we think?
We haven't seen much of Terry Trowbridge either.
Yeah,
so welcome back, Terry.
Awesome.
Patrick Larson. So we've got a whole bunch of folks who have come back, and we've got a really, really good grid of folks here. But yeah, so I think we're going to be looking at their first lap and probably be in the 32s, 33s, but their second lap, flying lap, that's when they're going to be able to get that really quick lap. And it's going to be a 31 flat, maybe even in the 30s, because we've got a 30-minute qualifying session, remember, and this track is going to evolve and it's going to get faster and faster. Obviously it is optimum right now, but it's going to get faster still, and we could get into the 130s. So my money is on Maciej Paunov.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet at all.
Why don't we drive with our champion, Steve Young?
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into the cockpit of him right now. Boom. And that runoff there in green, you can go over the kind of the curb and go over into the green with all your tires. Actually, that's the only place on track where you can do that. We're gonna probably see some track infractions, and you have to keep an eye on that, Jonathan, of any stop and goes and stuff, because I don't see that because ACC is not sending that out.
Okay,
to,
yeah, I can do that.
Third-party
Sure.
programs and things.
Yep, I was guilty of that yesterday. That got my fourth track cut in the last lap and got a drive through.
Yeah, for anyone watching Formula One, they were struggling with track cuts like crazy there.
Yeah, but I don't know why they're all complaining about it. I mean, it's the same for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to keep it between the white lines, you know?
And this is the tricky one. Because if you go left there, you bounce like crazy, and if you hit the big bump, you obviously get into trouble too. Let's see what's gonna. Paolo has the fastest on 1:32.1. I think this is gonna be. It wasn't a fastest lap for him.
Yeah, but this is their first flying lap, though, isn't it? So it's not until the second or third flying lap that you really do the business, I think.
And the Driscoll up a little bit. And who has his family following. I don't know if his family's on yet, but normally they very faithfully watching his racing.
Yeah, hopefully he hasn't had a bottle of wine tonight, because last week he was very, very quick, but I think the wine went to his head and he spun off. Steve is in a different car this week, so he's ditched the Lamborghini that he won the championship in, and he is in the AMG, which is very, very cool looking, very cool sounding, that's for sure. He's currently on a provisional pole-winning lap.
He just dropped under the time.
He needs 6/10, and he is currently 7/10 up, and he's on the tail end of the lap.
Yeah, Mike is in
really
watching
exciting.
the second half of Quali live here on the stream after he's been driving. So Steve Young is on fastest lap pace right now, 0.8 up. One car went. Oh, is he gonna get it in? Yeah, he brought it in.
He
lost
did lose
time.
a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. P2.
Yeah, and Mark Stevens currently has the provisional pole of 32 flat. But let's see if we can pick up Mircea Paunov. And he has not actually set a time yet. He's just started his fast lap. He's in turn 2 right now. He's a second up basically on.
Okay, I'm trying to find him. There is Paunov, and I got to get into his.
Yep, he switched cars as well, so he's in a McLaren.
He's been driving McLaren before. Patrick Larson takes fastest right now, 1:31.8. So we see they're over a second faster than the silver drivers. Platinum is. So your money was on Paunov, but he needs to deliver here. 8 minutes left of their part of the qualifying.
And he's got a car in front of him that I don't think he's going to catch the car in front of him, but it's a distraction, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Steve right there. Oh, he had to adjust a lot there on that turn. Let's see how he's doing here.
It was very wide in there. Whoa, he's bouncing around. And once again here, he's got to hit that apex on the inside and get on the power as early as possible. He's going as wide as he can.
Oh, good job. There it is.
Great job. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, he gained time. Let's see where he's gonna end up.
Yep, 31.5. But I didn't. Was that a?
Yeah,
was that
I think
not a
it
clean
was.
lap?
It must have been invalid.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, he
so.
didn't. He didn't move. Didn't move at all. Let's follow him again because he really. We have high expectations here.
Very, very high expectations. Yeah. I'm following him in car, and it didn't actually show that it was an invalid lap, which is a bit odd.
Yeah, Steve is now in the lead, and he's improving his time, but maybe he can give a little slipstream to Merch. You don't get much from these cars.
Yeah, now Merche is in that kind of Checo Perez situation, right? He's only got 6 minutes on the board left, and he has not set a representative lap. So does he just set a banker right now, or does he go balls out and go as fast as he possibly can?
Yeah, Mike, that timing tower here for ACC TV is actually really nice. They have nice features, some that I'm still figuring out. So see how he's doing here. Oh, that was much better than last time.
Yeah, he's very, very neat.
See if he can hit the apex here.
But the car in front of him is pulling away, so that's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, so that's Steve Young. Let's see if this was clean now.
Yeah, P1 31.3.
Wow, nice. 4 tenths ahead. Oh, good. Well, that's clean.
Yeah, that,
oh, well,
no, that was off.
That was off. That. All right, good driving. Let's look a little bit at Laszlo, see how he's doing. So we have 20 cars in Platinum. Laszlo is currently in 17th.
Yeah. And it is very interesting, isn't it? If you look at the timing board, because you have Peter David, who is the fastest of the silver guys. He's in 15th place.
Yeah.
And he's ahead, and also Aaron Shannon. They're ahead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 platinum drivers.
Yeah, that's 0 lap. And Don Queen sits back in 27th. So has he even done a really decent lap? I don't think. Don Queen. He has a 134.2. It's not on a valid lap. Don. Oh, sliding a lot, but he's up 0.4, Laszlo. The Ferrari. Yeah, Nikos, that's how these groups work. Platinum and Gold, that's a pro class, while and then you have Silver is one class, and then Bronze is the pro or the AM class, amateur class. So little confused. I've been spending weeks trying to figure that damn thing out. So this
Queen is on a faster lap. He's definitely hasn't. It looks like he hasn't been able to hook up a really optimal lap as Don. Only in 27th. He's almost half a second up on his quickest, but now he completely missed that apex for the left-hand hairpin.
He has an interesting livery there. Okay, he has the BWT livery. Nice.
Looks like he's going to gain a few places with this lap. If he manages to, there, he's gained a lot of time there. It's like now 0.6 up. And just don't outbrake yourself here. Get to that. He just missed the apex, so he's a little bit hobbled, but it was much better than his previous lap. So he's going to improve by 0.8 of a second, which is going to propel him all the way up to P19. So he
nice.
improved eight positions right there. And which really justifies the place, you know, because I think he can do a lot better than that as well. And he could potentially be, you know, ahead of Peter David, who was our fastest silver guy. Oh, we got a spinner in front. I think that was Terry Trowbridge, who just spun. Yeah, that was a great sprint, Terry.
Unfortunately, I don't have Derek's livery for some reason. I thought he had the regular Slade.
Yeah, I just see a blue car.
Yeah. Oh, you do too? That's weird, huh?
On your stream,
yeah.
See let me. Oh, no, I can see it on pit lane cam. I can see his livery.
Oh, that's bizarre.
So there's something going on.
Yeah, I resynced and I have like 5 different liveries for him, so maybe I need to clean that out a little bit.
Yeah, Derek's in P9 right now, and he is about to start his final lap. So we've got just over a minute on the board. He's letting somebody by. Yeah, he's trying to find some space.
Yeah, Paolo is still running. He's in P6.
So now Derek's got a ton of space behind him. He might want to slow up just a little bit to give him some more space in front. So he's going to start a new lap right now. This is going to be his final lap. Derek completely destroyed us yesterday in the Porsche Cup race. I mean, he finished like 20 seconds or so in front of the second and third place, man.
Did you see the battles there that ACC captured in the replay I posted?
Yeah, it was really cool. There was like so much going on. It's such a great series.
Yeah, I love it.
So riding on board with Derek Bird, he's just up on his fastest time. About even. Into this left hand, he's missed the apex, and he's sliding, and he's had to abort that lap. Let's see who else is on track. We've got
Mirsch is still driving. I mean, he doesn't take a rest.
Still.
Yeah, he's up on his time.
Yep.
That's the marker to the right there. One of those lines to the right that we passed. That's my brake marker.
And Merche is massively quicker on this lap as well. He's 0.4 of a second up, coming into the final right-hand hairpin. Now he's coming up to this quick right-hander where that sausage curb is on the inside. You just want to just kiss the sausage, get back on the power. He lost a little bit of time, but he's still 0.3 up.
See how he's negotiating this. Come on, dip in. There we go. Good. Go on.
Beautiful. Look
nice,
at that.
Nice. He didn't pick up time though, but he's going to improve his time.
Yeah, another 0.3 up. This is going to be a 1:30.9. Whoa.
Yeah.
Great lap. 0.7 faster than Steve Young. Hello.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, he can smoke that cigar now.
Exactly. I'm a little excited because they actually have a grid walk feature here. We're gonna see when the cars. I wonder if he's doing that when they line up to start. We'll see in a couple of minutes how that's gonna look like.
So we can see with the starting lineup, the only 3 folks who are kind of, you know, mixed in with the 2 classes are Hugo Caballero, who I don't think he posted a representative time. I really don't. Uwe Tholen, who's come back from was with us for a while, and he's come back, which is awesome. But he's in the mix, and then Dimitri Stathis, who probably didn't get a representative time either. It will be interesting to talk to these guys after the race to see if they feel that they should be moved down or whether they just didn't have optimal laps.
Yeah. So we do interview with the 2 winners and see what they think.
If it wasn't for Merche, then it would actually be really close between Steve all the way back to to Ollie really and Terry. Well, in fact, you know what? The whole of the platinum group is, it's like just over a second,
Yeah,
really.
that's right. That's right.
1.3 seconds covers all of them, which is pretty bloody cool. Okay.
All right, Johan Larsson on the stream. Welcome.
Hey, Johan. You on the track, buddy?
All right, let's see here. I wonder what's going to happen now when I press grid walk automatically. Maybe I do
Punch
like
it.
so, and then... Okay, so here's the grid walk. Okay, it comes up with graphics and stuff, but I haven't figured out how to actually do that, so we stop that. Okay, it actually comes up with nice graphics. I have to play with that.
Yeah, it looks like it's just moving through the field.
Yeah, but it actually comes up with graphics, so I need to make sure I can get that into my OBS. So where are we? It's a very long grid, but I mean, we have Murchie, we have Steve Young, Patrick Larsson, Paolo, Andy Driscoll, Stevens, Obando, David Craig, Derek Bird, Craig Holmes, Don Quinn, and David Martin, Ollie Linnortner, Terry, Daniel Britos, Jeremy. Oh, that's a new livery on him. Laszlo, and Peter David, Shannon, Caballero. We don't have time. Philippe Savage, Dimitri. Yeah, we don't really have time, so I need to get on the helicopter. This start's gonna be epic, man.
We're going to be doing a full warm-up lap here, which is kind of cool as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's a lot of cars. That's a lot of color, huh?
That is a lot of color. Yeah, actually, what we can do then, I'm gonna go back to where I kind of was. Yeah, we have Hugo. He hasn't even started yet. Savage. Uwe, welcome back. Dimitri Statis. Richard Colomb. And Stuart Charles. Mike McClellan. The one and only Mike Molesky. That will commentate the Porsche Cup. That's a cool little livery. And here we have, I'm sorry I didn't say the name, that's Thomas Baker. And Neil Leader. Tom Darby. Melvin Schmidt. David Lawrence. And the one and only Willie Owens. So there we go. Gonna see them snake through the whole track. Yeah, 33 cars on track right now.
Yeah, that's a good result, and it really augurs well for next weekend when the season actually starts. So we'll probably have quite a few more, I would imagine. Fourth of July weekend here in the US.
Yeah,
everyone getting ready for barbecues and having family over and just kind of chilling. I have a 4-day weekend, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking Monday off.
So here we go. Just about to get the green light. So you can get the jump. See it if Steve can outdrive. Steve got a great little launch.
Yeah,
and he's
get it tight in the back
car
three.
length ahead.
Let's see if they take it easy. Oh, 4, almost 4 wide.
Yep, 4 abreast. Ooh,
Oh,
they're closing up. Oh,
Steve contact.
Steve. Yep, there's
Pandemonium.
big contact there.
Pandemonium.
Serious pandemonium. Cars all over the place. Oh, no, he's got hit again by Laszlo. And I've hit, so Paunov is at the tail of the field. There's just cars bloody all over the place. I think I see an Obando side on. Wow, I don't know what to look at.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Let's see if I can catch the first incident.
It looks like Merche may have just got into Steve as they went through turn 1.
Yeah, let's see which one I've captured here.
Got him sideways.
Yeah, I wasn't able to catch, but oh, Mike Maleski. I think Mike Maleski did a great job. A couple of guys that really gained from this, so we see when the smoke clears where we are. Oh,
There's a lot of destroyed cars, basically.
Sorry. Oh, that was stressful.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to actually go and look at the replay, see exactly what happened, and I'll report back to you what went on there.
Yeah. So, bear with me here as I'm working the timing tower and so on. Set that up. It's one of the experiments here is to see what we have. Okay, here we go. There we go. So a couple of guys that really gained on this. We're gonna see that here. A position delta. So a lot of guys that.
All right, so I'm watching the replay of the start. I'm actually sitting on with Merche Paunov to see what happened, to see if he tagged Steve. Yeah, he tagged Steve going into turn 1, and then everyone is a passenger. Everyone's a passenger right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was the big item. But Mark Stevens is the one that gained from all this. So he's now being chased by Andy Driscoll. Yeah, Stefan, let me know what that is, multi-screen, etc. I think that's not really a software thing. That's how many, if you have a separate computer and you run ACC as well. So let me know. I'm trialing this ACC TV, so I haven't committed to it yet. But I really like it though. Has a lot of interesting data points. You can also.
So let's see who are the biggest winners here. I think probably the biggest winner is Don Queen, who is in P5.
Yeah, let's see. Actually, Aaron Shannon is up 11. Aaron is actually the biggest winner right now. Oh, there's a little contact there. I don't know why they have kind of a warning sign there.
So yeah, Robert Obando was one whose car got completely destroyed. I saw him get hit, like he was actually broadside and got hit. Now coming out of the pits. But either way, so we've got Mark Stevens, who is currently leading. He's also posted the fastest lap of 32.6, so he's definitely no slouch. He's got really, really good pace. We've got Andy Driscoll second behind him. It's actually really nice. Look, we've got a Mercedes 1-2. Krista, when was the last time you could say there was a Mercedes 1-2?
Yeah, that's
in any form of racing.
In any form of racing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, here Don runs in P5. And right now the fastest in Group 2 is Shannon. He's passing Nemeth, who is a silver or who is a platinum driver. I don't know why they have that caution marker on these two guys. I have to read up what these markers all mean. Okay, there it's gone now. So Andy is catching up now with Stevens. What I do want to do too is just to see a little bit what goes on far in the back. Oh, he goes off. McClellan goes off. He's going to browse a little bit. Ollie is back here. And Steve Young, I wonder if he had damage on here.
Oh, no, he was destroyed.
He doesn't look banged up, though. Maybe on the other side.
So I think he may have come in and gotten repairs because he is a lap down. But he was like a ping pong ball. He really was.
Paulo, very nice livery from Nikos Margaritis. Stefan says that YouTube is low res. I don't see any problems actually. I have a very nice no dropped frame, excellent stream. So maybe on your side, who knows?
Yeah, Stefan, if you go to your quality settings in the stream, and you can select 1080p 60 frames a second. It is available. And it looks great.
And you can try Twitch too. That always have a little bit better resolution.
You know, I have it running on my I have a 55-inch screen running behind my computer monitor, and I have it cranked up to 1080 60 frames in it, and it looks great. You know, all the text you can see perfectly.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I might put a dark background on that thing. Should be possible.
Willie Owens is having a really good scrap with Richard Colomb.
All right,
is it Colomb or is it McClellan?
Where are they?
It's McClellan. 24th and 25th and 26th.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell YouTube TV because on the broadcasting app here it doesn't show which one is silver. I have to look on the screen to see that, but this is a silver scrap. So fastest lap now by Mirsch. Mirsch is getting back into the groove.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in 29th though.
Yeah, unfortunate. Steve sits in 28th. But
that was a great crash though, wasn't it? I mean, I think we haven't seen a crash like that in eSeniors.
A classic pandemonium.
For a long time.
Classic.
Yeah. Pandemonium.
Exactly. Let's see, Dawn. I'm trying these deltas I'm showing here are not really correct on my screen. I think they are on the timing tower. It's a little midfield here is where the action is. Paolo and Tom Darby, rather.
Actually, there's a good race for P4, so P3 rather. You've got Patrick Larson, who's holding that down, but Derek Bird is right on his tail. He's half a second behind. He's just waiting for a reason to get by. But then also Andy Driscoll is only half a second behind Mark Stevens for the lead. So definitely the best fights are for P1 and P3.
I have the flags too, so I can cycle that. I don't know if that's annoying or not, but just testing the different features. As part of this race is to kind of test things out. Well, I think that's a little bit annoying, so stop that. But we can see the position delta, where all the top guys gained from, if I go down to look at the lower part of the grid, we have the big losers down there, unfortunately. Bonov is trying to make something happen. Michael McClellan. Want to catch the newer driver there, Stuart Charles. Give him a little screen time. So here's this little kind of lower mid battles going on behind. Oh, he spins. Oversteer. Ove Toland drives for P22. He gets up to P21 now when passing. Yeah, very unfortunate for the guys in the front that are now all the way in the back. Maybe this will develop to a little fight here with Driscoll and Stevens. I wonder, do we have any Driscoll family on the stream? Derek starts to challenge here on Patrick Larsson. So it's 48 minutes left. So this really gonna be about stamina for the guys driving. Yellow flag on Laszlo Nemeth. I'm gonna get back to the race gap. There we go. So Craig Holmes starting to catch up on Daniel Britos.
Hey, do you have a squirrel scratching at your microphone or something? I guess Stefan is saying that there's some kind of scratching sound coming on both of the streams.
No.
No squirrels?
No squirrels.
Squirrels.
That is weird. No, Timmy is not here. He's not scratching. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Do you hear it as well? Can you listen to in on the stream real quick?
I can. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's there, I can barely hear it. I can't tell.
Yeah, was it Moses that had squirrels that caused this internet to go down?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? All right.
I guess they were chewing on the wires, like the insulation on the wires was some kind of organic material that they were chewing on.
Amazing. See if Derek can catch Patrick Larsson. Okay, now it's gone. Okay. Comes and goes. All right, start this
Coming up on
to
a
P11.
slower car. See who that is. The slower car that they're coming up on is Jeremy. Jeremy Arabas. See if he moves over for these faster guys. Because if he doesn't, they're going to close up very, very quickly with one another.
Yeah, so you're looking at Larsson.
I'm looking at this four-way battle for the lead, and they're approaching Jeremy very, very quickly to lap him.
So that's a lap situation.
So Jeremy must have been part of that first corner melee, so I'm sure he's not happy about that.
Looked like Michael Meleski kind of went through that whole thing. He's in P17 right now. So he's actually in P5 then in the silver group. Good result for him so far. Peter David is leading the silver group. Yeah, Nikos, Derek Skin is missing, which is weird because Jonathan can see it, so it's on my side. I'm just gonna clean out his skins and do a new sync for next race. Yeah, Jeremy did a very nice yield there.
Good boy, Jeremy. Moved over for the faster cars.
Yeah, Jeremy had a nice looking livery too. The Rocket. Let's give that some love for a minute. Nice clean livery.
Don Queen in 5th is having a very, very lonely race. That has to be said. He's got Terry Trowbridge a couple of seconds behind him, but not really challenging. And then you've got Craig Holmes in P7, about another second behind him. Danny Bridos, another second behind him. Peter David, +6 from Danny Bridos in P9. And he's got Philippe Sauvage pretty much on his tail as well, a second behind him.
Yeah, so Peter David is leading the silver group.
Yeah, he is, and he's leading that silver group from P9 overall.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see, I'm just going to go down the line here. Dimitri has David Martin behind. David is a newer driver. Great to see. We get new drivers all the time. We have a lot of members and followers. Not everyone is racing. So I think if everyone was racing, we would be really, really busy. Then I really
we would be super busy.
Then I really have to retire.
I think the largest entry we had for a race was something like 50 odd a year ago, which was really, really crazy. But I like this format. I think, with up to 40 cars on track, we can make this format with 2 classes running at the same time. We can make it work very, very well.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting aspect of, you can follow, follow the different parts of the track, and you have something going on there.
Yeah, and to be fair, in the last 2 years since eSeniors has existed, we have on occasion had people try to petition us to have 2 classes, meaning like GT3 and GT4 together, for example, or GT4 and Cup Car together. And the problem that we always saw was, well, there's too big a disparity in terms of speed between the 2 classes because they're 2 completely different kinds of cars. There could be 6 or 7 seconds difference between the 2 classes, which is just too much. But if we do it this way, yeah, we've got 2 classes, but they're the same kind of car. So, in fact, you start getting them mixed up together. And I think this works a lot better.
Yeah, and that's actually what I drive on Thursdays. I drive a mixed Porsche Cup and GT4, and it's absolutely no problem at all. I mean, the Porsche Cup is much faster, so when I come up on the GT4, it's very easy to pass. So that combination is actually a really good combination.
understand, I believe the pole time for the platinum group was a 30.9. Was that correct? Was it a 30.9? I think it was, wasn't it? I think Merche was 39.
Yeah, I didn't note it down, but 1:33.1 was the group 2. So
yeah.
Yes.
So 2 seconds difference between silver and platinum.
So here we have Steve Young is frantically trying to pass Charles, who is the last guy in the silver. And, you know, Charles doesn't need to move. He can do his race, and it's up to Steve Young to pass him. Now, Steve is a little bit of a kind of a VIP, so...
This is true.
I would maybe let him by. Let's see what he's gonna do.
He's gonna get by. He's out of just pure pace. He's gonna get by anyway.
Oh, Stefan is throwing some shade here. He's a bit behind in times when it comes to multiclass. Yeah, but maybe this is the start. This is the dawn of a new era. Yeah, so here we have a classic battle here. So we're not in the pit. The pit window have opened. Yeah, actually, Steve have been in the pits. Oh, I actually see the pits stop duration right here on my summary. Yeah, so they have all been in. So Steve, Merch, Obando, Ollie, Laszlo, and Jeremy have all been in. I didn't pay attention to that, actually.
Yeah, but they have, but it hasn't satisfied the pit stop requirement.
Yes, that is right.
Because they came in to fix their extraordinary damage. We have had one car come in and actually satisfy the pit stop strategy requirements, and that's Laszlo Nemeth. He's currently running in 30th.
Yeah, and actually can put the last stop length on the timing tower. Look at that. Oh,
yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Young is definitely trying to push it. So now Panov is coming up on him. So maybe this is going to be a discussion point after the race. But, I mean, heck, you don't really have to move. Something happened with Martin, yellow. Or his Paolo is slower. Okay, so he had the off. Yeah, so that little marker there means that they all of a sudden was significantly slower than they normally drive. So I'm learning this. So give me some feedback on the timing tower. Maybe we should have a black background on that instead. It's possible to do that. I also have this guy. I haven't played with this one, which is the lap timing. So I can compare that to Statis, for example. So what we can do here, maybe we can look at Steve Young. Was he able to pass Stewart? Not yet. We can look how he fares with so there's okay, here's Steve Young. So Panov actually passed Panov up in 26. Panov passed Steve Young. Yeah, not sure how to work that timing thing yet. But it's kind of interesting battle here in the bottom where they try to just climb up the leaderboard as much as they can. Mirsch has the fastest lap right now.
So Andy Driscoll has taken the lead, and Mark Stevens is gone into the pits.
Yeah, that was his Andy's chance to go in or get the.
And Derek is trying to dive inside of Patrick Larson. He doesn't quite make it. Has to tuck in behind. So this is it. So we were talking about this earlier. So with such a large field, it's very difficult to do an undercut with the pit stop.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find that, you know, you come into the pits, come out, and you're in the middle of traffic, and you're just going to lose an absolute crap load of time. So really the leaders are going to want to stretch it out as much as possible so that they don't come back out in traffic.
And as we see on the timing here, Derek is lapping faster than Patrick Larsson.
So it's going to be interesting to see where Mark Stevens has actually come out, whether he's come out in a whole bunch of traffic. Let's see, I'm trying to find him. He's in 16th place, and yeah, well, I mean, he's got a couple of people in front of him, and no doubt they're going to be slower. They haven't slowed him up yet, but give it a lap or two and they will. And if I was the leader, I'd be stretching this out as much as I can. Wait for everyone to pit and then come in.
Yeah, his pit stop was 28.7, which is obviously much faster than the other guys that went in because they went in with damage, I would assume. Dimitri is in the pits.
And if you look closely at Mark Stevens' livery, he's got the three-pointed star all over the car, you know, the silver stars, and he's got that one red one, which is, you know, a tribute to Niki Lauda. Really, really cool livery.
Yeah, it is. Is that Nico's work? Probably.
I'm assuming so.
I'm sure we see that in the chat.
So let's see, we've got a whole bunch of folks in the pits. Charles, Lawrence coming out. Uwe Tolan is in the pits.
Driscoll is still staying out.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I would do if I was him as well. You know, both, so Driscoll, Patrick Larson, and Derek Bird, all three of them have stayed out because they desperately want to make sure that they come back out in clear air after they've taken their pit stop. Yeah, agreed, Nikos. We really wish we had Road America. That would just be amazing. But as of right now, we just have to make do with what we have, unfortunately. You can always go to AC and drive at Road America. Drive anywhere you want at AC, let's face it.
Terry into the pits. And is still staying out. Patrick Larsson is pushing behind him. Patrick hasn't pitted yet either.
Nico says that Merc is not his job. Not his work.
Yeah.
So now these guys are coming up onto slower traffic. So Andy's coming in. Andy Driscoll is coming in from the lead. It's down to first gear before he crosses the line. Patrick Larson behind him. He's also gone into the pits. So that leaves Derek Bird is still out there. So this is Derek's opportunity. He's got past the slower traffic, so he's got a little bit of clear air to put in some really, really quick laps and hope that Driscoll and Larson are basically, they come out inside in traffic. I'm keeping a close eye on Driscoll.
Derek Bird is running along as usual.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the smart thing to do with so many cars on track. So Driscoll has completed his pit, and he's come out right now, looking good. And Patrick Larson has also completed his pit stop, and he's slotted in. Mark Stevens has slotted in behind Driscoll.
Yeah, just behind. Ah, that's interesting.
Yep. So status quo there, because they were 1-2 before the pit start.
Yeah, he lost it.
Started.
He lost it in the pit stop. Mark had a longer pit stop than Andy, so that's the explanation there. So that's going to be a little battle.
Yeah, well, Andy had actually gotten past Mark on that lap just before Mark came into the pits. So he got past him on track. So now they're fighting like tooth and nail, and they've got another car in the mix as well. So they've got Neil Leader, who's in front of them. He has not pitted yet, and he's definitely slowing them down. So this is exciting. Here we go. So they've just gotten past. They just got past Leader.
Yeah, he decided just to yield.
Yeah, he decided to yield. So now, and he is a silver driver, so that made perfect sense. So now you've got Mark Stevens right on Andy Driscoll's tail. But the question is, what is happening with our top man, Derek Bird? So where is he? Derek is in the pits.
He's in the pits.
And he's coming out right now as these guys... he's got the blue flag. What's going to happen here? Driscoll goes by. Stevens goes by.
Yeah, Derek tucks in behind them.
Yep. So Derek managed to get by Patrick Larson in those pit stops. So that's a job well done. Now he's got these two guys in front of him to deal with who are really going at it, hammering nails. I mean, I don't think Mark could be any closer to Andy.
Oh, yellow flag. Look at that. That's Steve Young. Big crash for Steve Young.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's our champion right there.
So, yeah, again, this is the fight between two Mercedes. Look at that. They're going side by side.
How did Steve Young end up right there? He's like, it's like he was launched over the fence.
Very strange.
Bizarre. Very strange, yeah.
I wonder if I even can see that.
I think, you know, I'm going to look at his replay and see what happened there.
Yeah, no, that's another accident. I'm replaying here. Oh, it's a little contact there. I wasn't sure what I would get when I did that. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 there. Let's look a little bit further back, see what's going on. Robert Robando is in the pits. Jeremy. So here we have David Martin. Getting up to speed, improving his time there. We see green sectors for him. David Lawrence. That's a wonderful livery. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm reviewing what happened to Steve Young. He was coming up on Uwe Tolan. I'm still watching it, so see exactly what happened. Oh no, you know what? I think he had a disconnect. Yeah, he had a disconnect. yeah, his car went straight through the barriers and stopped like way off course. So yeah, clearly he had some kind of disconnect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Billy.
That makes sense.
Welcome to the stream, Billy. You missed the pandemonium in the beginning, so we have a little upside down grid a little bit on off. That was P2 had a tangle with Sky, so now he drives at Sky, and Sky 194 just had the disconnect. So, and you can see the different classes. The Pro class, white and silver, is silver color.
Yeah, and Andy Driscoll has pulled away a little bit now from Mark Stevens, but he does have a slower car in front in the form of Mr. McClellan, number 88. He's getting the blue flag treatment. Let's see if he pulls over and lets Andy by. Not so far, and this is closing the field up. This is closing the top three up. Still not letting him past. Andy's going to dive down the inside. Definitely the back marker, definitely not helping things.
Yeah, that's a blue flag. So that's he's being lapped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's moving away there. Yeah.
I mean, to his merit, he stayed on the line and kind of lifted a little bit.
Yeah.
He didn't move around. He wasn't unpredictable, so that's good for sure.
Mirsch still sits with the fastest laps, 132.4, but Andy's best is 132.455, and Mirsch is 132.405. So Andy's doing good here. Sorry to see, I don't think there was anyone from his family watching today. That's a shame. Great performance.
Yeah, Billy, so silver class is basically like your group 2 folks, and then platinum is group 1.
Yeah, so the pandemonium helped here. You see Dimitri is up 15 positions, as is Mr. Leader. See how it looks like if I go down a little bit further down. Owens is up 10. Yeah, so there's some guys that really benefited from pandemonium. We have the flags.
Dimitri is plus 6.666 seconds behind Danny Britos. That's not a good omen, is it?
No. And they're all British top 3 right now. I was a conference call yesterday with the client, and she said she's British, and she was sitting in England, and she said, "Yeah, no, you had the Independence Day weekend, so obviously we're not celebrating that here," she said, and chuckled.
There's a lot of Independence Day jokes in the UK.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A hell of a lot. And Derek is now really, really close behind Mark Stevens. He got a better exit on that last turn. This is where he wants to get a little bit closer so he can make the dive down the inside. It's awfully difficult to make a dive here without the car in front outbraking themselves.
Yeah. Patrick Larsson there cruising behind them, trying to pick up the scraps.
Hey, John Saunders in the stream. Hey, John, missing you here today.
Hey, John.
Sure, you'd either have been part of a very big crash at the beginning, or you'd be in the mix right here at the front. Mark Stevens had a very, very sideways moment in that right-hand hairpin, and that's enabled Derek Bird to get real close. So this is Derek's opportunity right here. He's gotten closer still, Now he's going to have a go down the inside into the final turn. So Mark is trying to get as defensive as possible. He's gone for the inside line. Now he's switched to the outside. A little bit naughty. It's okay, though. And he stopped Derek. He basically blocked Derek from diving down the inside or the outside or anywhere. Good driving by both of them.
And we haven't seen any penalties for any track infractions.
Not yet.
It's probably going to come.
It's going to come, yeah. I mean, remember, this is a 1 hour race. So a little bit longer than what we're normally used to. And even with a 50-minute race, you know, we would see drive-throughs. So we shall see.
My guess is Panov. You're going to get the first one.
So this fighting now has enabled Patrick Larson in 4th place to close up on Derek Bird. He's closer to Derek Bird to Bird than Bird is to Stevens.
And Peter David still sits at the leader of the silver class, doing good.
Let's see how they're doing down there.
So he has 2 or 3 of the pro class behind him. Trowbridge, Caballero, and Tolan.
Yeah, he's got a lonely race in 10th place. Sure. His car is pretty beat up. You can see I'm looking at the backside of it, and it's all scuffed up. But pretty good results so far for Peter David, that's for sure. I mean, he's what, 14? He's over 20 seconds in front of the P2 machine of Aaron Shannon for the Silver Group.
Then Baker, Thomas Baker. I think he's one of the newer drivers running in P3 of the silver class. Good job there.
All right, let's see what's going on up front. Everything seems to be pretty static. They're in amongst the back markers. But Andy Driscoll is like, actually, he seems to have been taking advantage of the black markers a little bit, because he's now stretched his lead again over Mark Stevens. And then you got Derek Bird and Patrick Larson very, very close behind them.
Mirish, who was P2 in the start, he's now on P19, so he's been climbing up a bit.
Yeah, we still have 29 cars on track. Nobody's sitting in the pits. Nobody's sulking in the pits, which is good.
Yeah, so we started with 33 drivers, so a couple have fallen out. I think I saw on the chat David Craig said he was hit 3 times, unfortunately. Steve says, sorry for the start, everyone. I don't know if he felt that it was his fault. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna do.
I mean, I don't think it was. I mean, it's just one of those things. But
yeah.
He actually got a better start. I think he's probably apologizing because, you know, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you're in the right spot in your grid box, in that green box, but the person who is supposedly ahead of you you know, in the next grid slot, they're actually behind you on track because they might have done a bad job or with their their starting box. So, you know, no matter what, you know, you can't help yourself. So maybe he thinks he took advantage of that starting slot, but I don't think he did. I mean, you know, he didn't get a jump start or anything. He was exactly where ACC wanted him to be. But for sure, he did get like nobbled by Merche. But hey, you know what? It happens.
So looking at kind of the classes so far, I think we're pretty spot on there. I mean, we had some pandemonium. That's why Pornoff is there. Otherwise, he would be up in the top, obviously.
Yep.
Peter David has an overlap with Caballero and Tolan, but that's about it. If I look further back there, yeah, so Martin and Linnort, I think they got caught in the pandemonium, so Obando and Arobas too.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty spot on. The only one who might be out of place, it might be Peter David. If anything, maybe he needs to be up in the platinum folks. It's really hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's also it can be circuit related as well. So this might be a really good circuit for Peter. So you know, it's really difficult to tell. It looks like we've got it spot on, though. You're right.
Paolo is advancing. Statis basically let him pass. They're in the same class, so no real reason for that, unless Statis just feels that he has some... I'm gonna see if he has damage. Maybe he has felt that he was not he has damage. Okay, his bonnet is hopping, so that was a nice thing to do. Just realized that he's not fast enough, so he didn't want to hold Paolo up into Paolo up in P8. Paolo have a nice livery. We've seen that before. I think he has a little damage on the nose as well. Someone said that it doesn't, because of the new model and things like that, if you have like 4 or 5 seconds of damage, there's no reason to go in and repair it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the circuit, really. I mean, where you've got a very long straight, you know, it can have like serious air damage. So now Mark Stevens, with that last back marker, has closed up really, really majorly on Andy Driscoll. He's now right on his tail, like 0.3 of a second behind, and he's now challenging for the lead again. So this is interesting. So clearly Mark Stevens had a problem with back markers, and they've got 3 or 4 back markers now that they're catching. So this is now going to be pretty interesting. We're down to the last 12 minutes of the race, and this could be impacted with back markers, and this is what we want to see. So let's hone in on on these top 3. Make that top 4, because like Patrick Larson, he's right behind as well.
He's ready to pick up the scraps.
Yeah, he sure is. And there's gonna be, you know, we've got 3 slower cars that they're approaching. Actually, 2 of them have just collided and they've gone off.
I'm just jump back here because Mirsch is trying to get the P18 with Thomas Darby. Darby is a silver driver, but I think Mirsch will be able to pass him when he comes up into the clear situation. It's going to be interesting to see what the feedback is from the drivers of the 2 classes.
Yeah. So Driscoll, the top 4 are coming up on Owens and Lawrence. They're coming into the last corner here. Oh my goodness. So Andy has been very, very compromised there. Just watching, he's trying to get by. He's got by Lawrence, and now he's going to try and get by Willie Owens.
Yeah,
and Willie's moving over. Yeah, Willie's moving over. He's doing the right thing. Doesn't want to get involved in this race for the lead.
I think Derek got a little compromised by him here, maybe, but Seems like the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
if
you're being lapped and you've got like you're trying to allow like 4 or 5 cars past
in the corner,
that's really that's really difficult.
Yeah.
So kudos to Willie for getting out of the way and letting at least the first 2 get by and then not moving off of the line. Pit window just closed. Hey, we got Jeremy Arabas in the commentary booth.
Hey,
what do you
Jeremy.
think about the first turn, Jeremy?
Holy smokes, man, that was chaos. You know, the major problem is drivers don't apply brakes. They keep accelerating as they lost control of the car, and that creates even more damage. It's too bad. People should step on their brakes. When that happens, they would do that in a regular car. I don't know why they don't do it in this simulation.
Yeah, there was definitely, I mean, there was a lot of that pandemonium was, for a lot of folks, was impossible to avoid.
Yeah,
but it started, so as you guys came down the start-finish straight, there was 4 abreast in a couple of areas, but the bottom line was that, so we had Merche, he got into Steve going into turn 1, unfortunately, and turned him around at a 90-degree angle, and then everyone just hit one another. But as you said, there was other things going on as well, people not applying their brakes, and total pandemonium.
Absolutely. When an incident like this happens at the top, you have to expect pandemonium. And it did. It's a good thing it's an off-season race. I hope everyone will learn from this and move on.
Yeah, and it's no big deal. And then there was other things going on as well. I think that it looked like Steve was, it was in the optimal part of his starting box, and Merche was not in the optimal part of his starting box. So, they got, basically that really gave Steve the opportunity to get by as they went down the start-finish line when they got the green flag. So, no one really prepares for that kind of occurrence, and, it just kind of went downhill from there. But, hey, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I'm sure you did. But one thing for sure is I think quali worked beautifully well.
Yes.
I think the system works perfectly fine, and it's very exciting to see this.
Yeah, quali worked really well, and if you look down the timing tower, everyone is where we would expect them to be, and it looks like that the powers that be did a really good job in figuring out which class everyone should be in. And to your point as well, the qualifying worked absolutely beautifully.
So now I have a question for you. Do you think this long lap formation creates more tension at the start?
I don't think it makes any difference. I think some people like it and other people don't. I don't like it. I think let's get down to racing.
Yeah.
Although, if you want something that looks authentic, I think a whole warm-up lap actually, helps with that.
Well, that's the reason why we decided to do it. But my question is that does it add more drama? It's like, are people more anxious once the green lights go off? I don't know.
Yeah, I think some people may be more anxious, some people may be less. It certainly gives us a little bit more time to go down the starting grid, because the grid is so big now that we need a little bit more time, with which to do that. I don't think it matters either way, but I think for the show, it's probably better.
That's a good point.
So the top 4 are still going at it, hammer and tongs. You've got 6 minutes on the board. So what's that, like about 4 laps of action? And, P3 and P4 are posting faster times than P1 and P2. And they're coming up on slower traffic. So they've got Aaron Shannon now dead ahead of them. And let's see what Aaron does, whether he pulls over and just lets everyone go, or whether he just sticks to his guns and makes them work for it. Because if he does that, then we're going to have some fireworks.
Yeah, I think it worked. I've seen a platinum driver coming up on the silver, and the silver he stays there, and you know, do his thing, and sometimes they yield. But so I think it's been working really well, actually. And as we see now, the leaderboard there is basically it's the pros on top, and then there's a little Olaf. Peter David is doing an excellent race today.
Yes, and actually, I think he should be moved to platinum. He certainly had the pace of platinum drivers today.
Yeah, he's up 7 positions, and I think he was a big winner from the Pandemonium as well. So it's a little bit hard to judge because of that.
Well, he did real well in quali.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and Shannon actually placed real well in quali.
Yeah, and Aaron Shannon is not giving Mark Stevens any room at all. I mean, he really should just move over right now and just let these top 4 past. He allowed Aaron Driscoll to dive inside at the final turn, but now he's just really hampering Mark Stevens.
Yeah, I think that's a classic situation.
And says Derek dives inside of Mark Stevens, so he's got the inside line to the next corner. So he's got that place. He's got that place.
We don't know yet. He got a little unstable there. Here comes Larson.
That really was caused by Aaron Shannon really getting in the way. And now the 2, 3, and 4 are now very, very close again. And Aaron still, this has allowed these guys to drop back a little bit, and Aaron is still in the way. So he's got some good speed, Aaron, I have to say, but this is unnecessary. He shouldn't really be doing this.
Yeah, I don't think it's not really enforceable, because there is no rule for them to yield. I think it's just
he's being lapped. This is legitimately by the leaders.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And as of right this moment, these guys in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they're not close enough now because of that battle to get by, or for Aaron to just pull over.
Yeah.
But, when it comes down to it, Aaron is not fighting with anybody else in his class right now. The next guy is like seconds behind, is like a long way behind. So it would be better for our show for him to just move over and for the racing to recommence with them having gotten past him.
Very true.
There's nothing in it for him right now getting in the way.
Yeah, when he let past the first one, he should have let past all 4 drivers. Let them resume racing. That's what he should have done. I would have done that.
We see a severely damaged BMW yielding there.
Yeah.
So Shannon became the kingmaker here for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some good pace though as well, which is interesting. He's really staying with Andy Driscoll, who's the leader. And only now is Derek now finally starting to get, on terms, and is getting to the point where, he's going to have to say to Aaron, hey, move over.
Yeah, that first turn took out a lot of good drivers out of contention there. That was that's what has to be avoided.
We were pretty speechless. There was just so much going on. It was impossible to follow because there was just cars all over the place. And Patrick Larson has got a really good exit there on Stevens.
And they're catching up on Shannon. So now you should move.
Yeah, so Derek has gotten past Aaron. Now you'd hope that Aaron would just let Stevens and Patrick Larson pass, and now they're on the final lap as well. So this is just completely unnecessary at this point for him to be getting in the way of this battle for like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And Mark Stevens goes off a little bit, and he's gotten a drive-through. Mark Stevens, he's gotten the drive-through, and he's gone straight off, and he's quit. He's stopped.
Oh. Yeah, I think he got a little bit frustrated, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, this is nothing personal, but this is a really good example of, when you should just pull over and let the leaders pass, because you're interfering with a good race.
Yeah, Shannon is playing a P2 in the silver, so he should have taken it easy. Anyway.
Let's see. He's in P13. So the person in P14 is Merche, who's a long way off. And then you've got Baker in 15th, which is the next person in the silver group, who's like, 20 seconds so behind him. So it's just unnecessary, He's got good pace. I'll give him that. And that's the race win.
But even though, if you're under a blue flag, you just have to concede. That's all.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, the winner is Andy Driscoll for the pros,
Yep.
and Peter David for we go follow him here for the silver. But that's really cool. I'm gonna pull in these guys for doing a little interview.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to post the results.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm going to bounce as well. So
Yeah.
cheers. See y'all later.
All right. All right, for everyone on the stream, I'm gonna go into my interview situation. And I'm gonna get Andy Driscoll. Catch Andy. Hey Andy. Can you hear me? If we get Derek. All right, Derek and Andy, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Let me just see if I get the standings up. Hold on. Standings. Podium there. All right, there we go. Let's start with Peter. You won the race when it comes to the silver class.
Oh, thank you.
How was your race? You gained a lot of positions from the calamity in the beginning, I'm sure.
Well, that's why I got up there, is because the car nage. Washing cars is what happens. But what happened is afterwards, Aaron was in front, and he did pass me the second lap, let's say, first or second turn. And then eventually, and he was in front by a second, let's say, in a second and a half or whatever it was. Eventually, Mr. Laszlo Nemeth got passed. And then he and Aaron were jostling for position. And I think that maybe what happened at one point, Aaron may have touched him, because I saw Aaron go off. And then I was behind Laszlo, and I saw that Laszlo also was a bit weaving, so I had to just stay behind him, but be careful. And then eventually we had Mr. Oh, God, darn it to heck. Not Mr. Coulomb, but the gentleman in second place in our group there, or third place when he started, and he was right behind me, and I just had to make sure I just race in front and let him try to catch, and it was at best just that. And then he might have lost a bit of control, and then I just had to keep going and just be careful and play smart. Yeah, that's it.
So how was the experience with driving this with two classes? What's your take?
I would say that it's a lot more fun because what also comes into play is that there are going to be very fast platinum drivers, and I have to sort of pick and choose when I'll let them pass and then follow them, and not try to fight them. And that's key. That's going to be very important for other people to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So Andy, the winner, did you have any of your family watching today?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Didn't see anyone on the streams. You have this family fan base, which is awesome.
Yeah, I've asked them to stop showing up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see Derek is in here too.
Yeah, you dragged me in, didn't you?
I dropped you in there.
Yeah.
Didn't,
Hello, Derek.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean, but I like to have you to talk to you too. So Andy, so your race, did you get caught up in the calamity in the beginning? Anything?
I think that's what helped. I managed to. I don't know how. See a gap went straight through. No damage. Got through. Mark front, and then we had Derek, Lauren.
Yeah.
They were behind, and we just literally, that was 6 minutes of nose to tail. I think a couple of seconds between all four places. So pretty intense. Managed to get Mark on the pit stop. Come out just in front of Derek. Mark was behind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek. I just interviewed the winners here, but I'm glad you're here because I want to hear your perspective of how it is to drive with the two different classes. Is that okay?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great fun. I'd say when you back markers, they were pretty good, but when we coached them up, the old seemed to give enough space and let us buy at good places. So
yeah, exactly.
It was pretty good. It was excellent, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And the qualifying didn't seem to be so confusing either. I saw people went out and it was nice and orderly.
No, it's simple enough, isn't it?
Okay, great.
It was very nice, actually.
Yeah.
We could even, eventually, if we have the numbers and the like, have 3 classes, and that would be even more interesting. But we'll have to grow up perhaps a little bit more.
Yeah, so the way the class function is in ACC, you have a pro class, which is any of the silver, or it's platinum and gold. That's one class, if you will, in ACC. That's how it works in real life, I guess. And then you have silver, and then you have bronze. So bronze would be the third class. So nice. we could potentially drive with 3 classes if we get up enough cars. So let's see what the future will be. But thanks for driving this, and bear with us here as we've tried to figure. And I was working so hard to try to figure out how do we get 2 classes visible on the screen, and it ends up that we do it through SIMGRID, and we get the start list and load that in, and that even sets the little sticker on your car and all that stuff. So we figured it out, and we're ready for the next season.
Yeah, it was great fun. Really enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you very much, Krister.
All right, no worries. So have a good day.
Thank you.
See you guys. Congrats.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
So thank you guys for watching. This was the experimental version with platinum and silver. I think it worked really well. I appreciate you guys watching. I used ACC TV for the various features I'm still working on. So thank you for bearing with me on that. So looking forward to start season 8 end of next week. We're going to do the Porsche Ferrari spec on Thursday at 1 Central.